This portion of the video presents maintenance procedures and safety precautions to be observed while servicing the Maxi lift. Maintenance on the Maxi lift is relatively simple, but certain safety precautions should be followed, since any type of lifting device presents a hazard to personnel when maintenance is performed. New DC hydraulic Maxi lifts are shipped with the battery disconnected. Before operating the Maxi lift, the rear equipment access door must be opened and the plastic tie removed to free both battery cables. The cables must be placed on the proper terminals, and using a 1/2-inch open end wrench, the connectors must be tightened securely. At this time, it would be wise to coat the terminals with petroleum jelly. Close the rear door and proceed with the operational checks. The instruction and maintenance manual contains a sample of daily and weekly inspection and lubrication log sheets. Use these samples as a guide in formulating your own log sheets, or you may make copies of the samples and use them. To make daily visual inspections, lower the Maxi lift to its lowest position. Visually inspect the Maxi lift completely on a daily basis. Tighten all loose bolts, nuts, screws, or pins. Check to ensure that all guide blocks are in place and not damaged in any way. Ensure that outriggers operate properly and that the leveling jacks operate easily. Remove the back cover by removing the 6 screws attaching it. Then, remove the tool tray. Inspect the chains for signs of wear, fractures, kinking, broken links, corrosion, heat damage, and any other apparent damage. Do not use the Maxi lift if it has any chain assembly that is in need of repair or replacement. Replace any chain which is damaged in any way or that shows excessive signs of wear. The chain assemblies must be ordered from Cotterman Company to ensure that original safety and quality specifications are met. Detailed instructions for replacing chains will be supplied with the replacement chains. Inspect the mast sections daily before operation. They should be free of dirt or other foreign material that will prevent free movement in the guide blocks. Check the hydraulic hose and all fittings for leakage or damage each day. Tighten or replace when necessary in order to prevent any loss of hydraulic oil. Lubrication will make the operation of the Maxi lift more efficient and extend its useful life. Grease caster axles and swivel raceways weekly. The path of the guide blocks should be cleaned and lightly lubricated using petroleum jelly or equivalent. The leaf chains should be lubricated monthly with type EP90 oil. 2 or 3 drops of oil every 6 inches of chain length is sufficient. At the same time, the pulley shafts may be lubricated. To adjust the lifting chains, lower the platform completely and make sure that there is no load on the platform. No lifting chain should be slack. If any chain is slack, this means that a column is resting completely on the stop angle at the bottom of the column. The chains must then be readjusted using a deep socket on a ratchet wrench. The adjustments are made using the anchor nuts at the bottom of the columns. The slack must be taken out of the chain by tightening the anchor nuts until the column is just contacting the stop angle on the adjacent column. Both leaf chains on the column must be adjusted evenly to prevent uneven loading on the chains. After adjusting chains on one column, the chains must then be checked on columns proceeding back toward the frame column. After all chains are adjusted correctly, the pitches should be measured. Refer to the maintenance manual and refer to the figures showing this procedure. If the distance exceeds the maximum stated limit, then the chain must be replaced before further use of the Maxi lift. When all columns are properly adjusted, the platform should be approximately 19 inches from the floor. To adjust the sequencing cables, lower the Maxi lift to its lowest position. Adjust the cables as shown so that the tautness of the cable does not lift any column. Assure that the nuts on both ends of each sequencing cable are secure. It is very important to maintain the hydraulic system of the Maxi lift continually. This must be done in order to keep the oil clean and also prevent any damage to the system. Do not remove any hydraulic components with the platform in a raised position. Open the door at the rear of the unit and unscrew the breather cap. Fill, if needed, with hydraulic oil using mobile DTE-25 or an equivalent, providing that the environmental temperature is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees Celsius or above. If the temperature is below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, refer to the instruction manual for the type of hydraulic oil recommended for use. Do not overfill, as when the oil is warm, it will expand and overflow the reservoir. Never fill the reservoir unless the platform is fully lowered. If the oil becomes contaminated, lower the platform and drain the oil into a suitable container using a siphon hose. Drain all the oil from the reservoir and any remaining oil from the hydraulic system. Reassemble all hydraulic system components and check for tightness. Fill the reservoir with clean oil and replace the breather cap. Operate the Maxi lift to check for leaks. After filling the reservoir, operate the Maxi lift for at least 2 cycles and recheck the reservoir between cycles. Add oil as necessary. Always check fluid level and add oil with the platform in the fully lowered position. Replace the tool tray and the back cover. On the DC Maxi lifts, the care of the battery has much to do with the efficient operation of the Maxi lift. The battery water level should be checked daily. Remove the battery caps and check the fluid level. Before charging, the fluid must be above the plates. After charging is complete, fill the fluid to the split ring. Do not smoke or use other combustibles while servicing the battery. Do not charge the battery without providing plenty of ventilation or in an explosive atmosphere. Hydrogen gas is given off during charging and an explosion may occur. Do not overfill. The fluid will expand as it becomes warm from charging and seep out of the battery. When water is then added, the solution is weakened and a loss of capacity results. The Maxi lift is equipped with an automatic cutoff battery charger. Plug an extension cord into the power inlet on the control panel and then plug into an outlet producing 115 volts AC. Operate the on-off lock switch to the off position. The battery will now charge and the charger will cut off automatically upon such time that the battery reaches its full charge. After prolonged use of the Maxi lift, it is strongly recommended that the battery be brought up to a full charge as soon as possible. If the battery is allowed to remain discharged, the lead plates will harden and become sulfated. In this condition, the battery fails to deliver its rated capacity or come to a full charge. Never add acid to the battery. Use distilled water only. Keep fluid up to the proper level. When required, water should be added to the battery after charging, unless the water level is below the top of the plates before charging is commenced. If there is any dirt or corrosion on the battery, wash with a solution of 5 teaspoons of baking soda in a quart of water. Coat the terminals with petroleum jelly or the equivalent. This concludes the training video. Read the instruction and maintenance manual frequently so that the safety rules and operating and maintenance procedures are remembered and observed. Conduct training sessions using this video periodically and whenever new personnel are to operate or maintain the Maxi lift. Remember that the Cotterman Company is always available to answer any questions that arise during the use of the Maxi lift.